Matt.
What's your surname, Matt?
I just do this for a sort of hobby, and like I say, I just go around doing this, so I tend not to give my name out all the time because people are always asking me. I just don't want it running.
Obviously, we just want to make sure nothing untoward's going on. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Well, there isn't. It's only pictures of the marked cars.
What's your surname, Matt?
Car pictures. Like I said, I don't want to give me surname out. I'd rather not. I'm only taking some pictures of the police cars.
As my colleague explained, obviously it's a bit odd you're doing like
It's not odd. Have you not seen on like YouTube and Flickr and stuff?
But not outside police bases.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I've seen loads of videos of police cars whizzing down the road and stuff.
Yeah.
They're not coming out police bases.
If you go on YouTube and you Google any police station, you'll see videos of it.
Is that from you or from other people?
Well, no, from loads of people. Yeah, I do, but again, it's not something I give out because it's obviously you get people commenting on the videos and stuff, and it's just I sort of like keep it private for a small audience, just like family and friends and stuff.
Right from the start, the officers show a poor understanding of public rights by immediately asking the auditor for personal information. Instead of calmly assessing the situation, they begin asking for his surname simply because they find his activity unusual. But something being unusual does not automatically make it suspicious or illegal. Officers should base their actions on clear legal grounds, not personal discomfort. Filming in a public place is generally lawful, and an officer feeling uncomfortable about being recorded does not change that. The officers should have focused on the actual circumstances, rather than treating unfamiliar behavior as evidence of wrongdoing.
Like I said, I've not got any problems with you videoing the cars, police officers or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I have said before, but all I'm concerned about is that you're videoing officers' private cars, which again, we can't really stop you doing.
Yeah.
Because you just said that if those people were that way inclined, they would just simply come down here and do it themselves. So how do I know that's not what you're here for?
Well, that could be the case for anyone that walks past.
I think I'm perfectly entitled to stop and ask you what you're doing and why you would
Right.
do that.
Yeah, I know, and you have done, and I've told you. This is what I'm saying.
We're trying to obviously make sure nothing untoward's happening.
How-
Giving me your surname.
How can anything untoward happen?
I mean, are you deliberately after confrontation with the police? Is that,
If I was after confrontation with the police, I'd be giving you hell now. So, no, obviously not.
I've not said you're breaking any laws or anything like that. I've not asked you to stop. I've not tried to...
No, that, yeah, but if you say that I'm after confrontation, I'd admit, I'd flat to say I wouldn't be being civil with you, I'd just tell you to bugger off sort of thing.
The officer seems to misunderstand what the auditor's behavior actually shows. The auditor is calmly explaining what he is doing and is willing to communicate with the officers. That is hardly the behavior of someone looking for a confrontation. In fact, he is being open, transparent, and cooperative. The bigger problem is that the officer appears to have already formed an assumption that anyone filming police property must have bad intentions. Instead of recognizing the auditor's calm approach, the officer seems to interpret the filming itself as hostile. That kind of assumption is unprofessional and can undermine public accountability. Being polite and transparent does not mean someone is being confrontational. In this case, it shows that the auditor is confident in what he is doing and willing to explain himself.
All I'm saying is, from my point of view, I don't understand why you would want a video. I mean, the marked cars, like I said, is fine.
Yeah.
Just making sure you're not videoing private officers' cars. That's all.
You can't make sure of that though, can you?
Well, all right, I can't stop you doing it. No.
Right, I've said I'm not going to. I've no reason to.
But you won't show me that you've
Well,
not been...
I'm recording at the moment. No, I can't stop my video. I give you my word, I will not get any, even if they're really nice cars, I will not put them on. And if there is any by accident, I will blur the number plates out. I'll do this with other people if they say, because a lot of them do have concerns about private cars and things. And I say, yeah, no problem, I can understand that. I can blur it out.
People that would want to maybe cause us harm and stuff like that, and it's just not...
I get your concerns with it. Yeah. But you've got my word, no private vehicles will go on the internet or anything like that, or not even on my own camera, regardless. It's just marked cars, that's all it is.
Okay.
Alright.
You won't give us your
I'd rather not. It's just, I don't want it sort of going about all the time, every time I come and do some like videos and photos and stuff.
This moment shows just how reasonable and cooperative the auditor is being. When the officer raises concerns about private police vehicles being recorded, the auditor goes out of his way to reassure him. Even though he may not be legally required to do so, he explains that even if the cars are impressive, he does not intend to include them unnecessarily in his footage. If a vehicle appears accidentally, he is also willing to blur the number plate. That level of cooperation goes beyond what is strictly necessary and clearly shows that he is not trying to cause trouble or invade anyone's privacy. Unfortunately, the officer does not seem to acknowledge this effort. Instead, he continues trying to justify his concerns and keeps asking questions about the auditor's identity.
Have you had no one down at this one before doing videos and stuff or pictures?
So, I'll be honest, we have had people down here.
All right, yeah.
And sometimes these people are fixated people, so they may have mental health problems, they may be obsessed with the police,
yeah.
They may wish to do police officers harm. It's people's temper, people's mood can change, people don't like being stopped and spoken to. So this
I think you've worked that out with a pair of yous that I'm perfectly all right and I don't mind being spoken to.
I don't know you at all. I know the border police have stopped someone out here who was armed with a knife, and he had come down here specifically to cause harm to the police, which is why we're speaking to you now, to make sure you're not one of these fixated people who's going to do us harm.
Definitely not. But I say, I've explained what I'm doing. I'm just here to take pictures and some videos of the marked cars leaving, and that's it. So.
Okay.
The officer's response here is particularly revealing. When the auditor calmly asks whether people have recorded at the police station before, the officer could simply have answered the question. Instead, he brings up previous individuals and suggests that they may have been obsessed with the police, experiencing mental health problems, or even wanting to harm officers. That is a huge leap in logic. Recording from a public place does not automatically connect someone with dangerous or unstable behavior. Auditors regularly film public buildings and police facilities to test how officers respond to lawful activity. Rather than treating filming itself as suspicious, officers should assess the person's actual behavior and look for genuine evidence of wrongdoing.
That's fine, mate, but as you say, there's some current crime already, there's some terrorism, especially right-wing terrorism as well. That's why we've come out to speak to you.
Right, it's, you should be all aware you've had memos regarding people doing photos and videos. They're all over YouTube, so that's what I'm doing.
That's fine. Have you got your ID on them?
No, you're not getting me ID, you're not getting me details. No. And even if I did, you won't be getting it.
Why is that, though?
Because you're not entitled to it.
Yeah, we have, yeah. We just do this a bit more.
Was I alright with you about it, you two? I was perfectly fine, wasn't I?
You were perfectly fine.
Explained everything, yeah. I even helped the chap who got stuck in there. Got myself grazed knees, guys.
Yeah. So what's your first name? So,
Matt.
Yeah. The issue we've got, Matt, is you've travelled all the way from north.
It doesn't matter where I've travelled from. It doesn't matter if I've travelled from. It doesn't matter if I've travelled from France to do it.
Road, I can understand why it brought you to here.
It doesn't matter. I could come here from 1,000 miles away just for the day and it won't matter. If I want to do that, I'll do it.
I understand that. It's my job is to obviously confirm who you are and why you're here.
It's not your job to confirm who I am and why I'm here. No, it's not. It's none of your business, that.
The officer's attempt to make the auditor's travel distance look suspicious is also difficult to justify. Just because someone has traveled a long way does not automatically make their actions suspicious or unlawful. People travel for all kinds of reasons: tourism, personal interests, work, or simply because they choose to. Focusing heavily on where the auditor came from appears to be an attempt to find something suspicious when there may be nothing there. Travel distance alone says nothing about someone's intentions. Turning an ordinary journey into a reason for suspicion risks escalating a situation that should have remained simple and professional.
Right, are you detaining me?
Sorry?
Are you detaining me?
Well, mate, I'm trying to have a conversation.
I've finished having a conversation. I've explained what I'm doing to these guys. Don't come down here and tell me I'm only allowed to come down and take pictures if I'm local or if I'm staying in a hotel, etc., or I'm here on Are you listening?
I think this is enough.
I think
He's not. I've been nice to you guys. I've told you what I'm doing.
not to be nice to these.
Right, no, he's coming up and he's demanding the ID and he's suggesting that I'm not allowed to do it, etc., etc. Have you got some ID, mate?
Like I've already explained to you, we do get fixated people that do hang around the police stations and they do want to do us harm. Alright? So,
With a camera,
Yeah.
we've already been through this.
yeah, we have. However,
I think so, yeah.
you've attracted another set of police officers' attentions, haven't you?
Yeah, just let me speak to these guys.
But if you speak to the uniform officers, because I'm speaking to my colleague.
Right, well, I was going to say, if you're going to detain me and search me, there's going to be a lawsuit because it's an unlawful detainment and an unlawful search. No, if she's going to detain me, then back on. No, unless she's detaining me.
Just don't know if you've got any weapons.
Okay, Matt, at the moment it's time for search section 1, please.
After the auditor explains himself and clearly outlines what he is doing, the officers still decide to detain and search him under Section 1 of PACE. That is a serious escalation. Section 1 of PACE allows police to stop and search someone when they have reasonable grounds to suspect that the person is carrying stolen or prohibited items. The problem here is the apparent lack of a clear connection between the auditor's behavior and any such item. Throughout the interaction, he had been open, calm, and cooperative. He had even offered reassurance about the private vehicles. Filming police vehicles from a public place does not, by itself, establish reasonable grounds to believe someone is carrying stolen or prohibited items if there was no separate evidence supporting the search. Using stop-and-search powers in these circumstances raises serious questions about whether the power was being used for its proper purpose.
The reason you're detained for a search is because we've seen you observing. You said you're filming cars, yet you're watching, after telling us you're filming cars, you're watching the passenger gate. I also suspect you might be the same person that's been, information has suggested they've been outside police spaces before. So I'm searching you for weapons. My name's PC Winkworth, I'm from Chadwell Heath Traffic Garage. In the search, you're entitled to a copy of the search record. Are you okay with a search by myself, or would you like a male officer to conduct the search?
No problem at all.
Excellent.
Say that, my name's Peter McDarby. Okay, just put out one warrant, I'll work back to the outside, okay?
I'm just going to undo your top there. You've got a t-shirt underneath. Just going to feel around your waistband. I'm not dropping your pants or anything like that, just feeling around it, okay? Could you turn around for me, please, Matt? Thank you.
Don't just turn it on.
Matthew, for future reference, when officer speaks to you, if you just obviously give him all your details.
I don't have to give him my details, pal.
What I'm saying, Matthew, so it's better for you, so if you're going to record outside police stations, just give him all your details.
I'm not going to give you any of my details. I don't have to. What did you say your name was again, or your number?
McDarby.
Right, you're going to be getting spoken to about this.
This statement from the officer after the search is particularly concerning. After searching the auditor and finding nothing, the officer tells him, for future reference, when officers speak to you, give them all your details. That is far too broad a statement. Members of the public do not generally have to provide all their personal details simply because a police officer asks. There are specific circumstances and legal powers where police can require information, but that does not mean every encounter creates a general duty to identify yourself. In this situation, the auditor was filming marked police vehicles from a public place and had not, from the information shown here, committed an offense simply by recording. The fact that the search found nothing also raises questions about what reasonable grounds existed in the first place. Police powers should be based on genuine, legally relevant grounds, not simply on suspicion created by lawful filming.